Several creatures from the animal kingdom play important roles during the Passover story. During the second plague, the frogs take over in Egypt. They're jumping on the Egyptians' heads and in their beds, and they show their willingness to even sacrifice their lives by jumping into the burning ovens of the Egyptians. And during the 10th plague, God makes sure that despite the massive wailing going on throughout the country as the firstborn sons of the Egyptians are killed, the dogs in Egypt don't make a sound toward the Jews. Not a growl, not a bark, not a peep. Instead, they stand stone cold silent. Later in the Torah, we're told that if an otherwise kosher animal is attacked and killed by a predator, its meat is now treif. It can't be eaten because it wasn't slaughtered through shechita, ritual slaughter. Instead, that treif meat is supposed to be thrown to the dogs. The rabbis explain that that's a reward to the dogs for their uncharacteristic silence toward the Jews during the 10th plague. But there's no corresponding or analogous reward given to the frogs anywhere else in the Torah. Why not? Perhaps it's a practical reason, because many people have dogs in their homes as pets or to help with work, whereas no one has a frog at home unless you're a 10-year-old boy at overnight camp. But I heard a much better answer to that question as follows. God, by giving a reward to the dogs and not to the frogs, is trying to teach us that it's much tougher to keep your mouth shut than it is to give up your life. What an incredible lesson for Passover. Not for the reasons that the mafia will tell you.
Congratulations.
Here's your graduation present.
Listen, what for? I got pinched.
Everybody gets pinched, but you did it right. You told them nothing, and they got nothing. Proud of you. You took your first pinch like a man, and you learned the two greatest things in life. Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
No, for these reasons. First, on Passover, at the Seder, you spend time with many relatives with whom you don't spend that much time the rest of the year. And of course, we love all of our relatives, but we don't always like all of our relatives. You may have that annoying uncle, that obnoxious cousin or nephew, that grandparent who pinches your cheek too hard. The Torah is telling you, keep your mouth shut like the dogs. Stay stone cold silent. Don't take the bait. Don't retaliate. Don't get into a fight. And if you're one of those rude people, don't start up. Instead, put on that beatific smile, sit back, and enjoy the Seder with your relatives. All of your relatives. And second, the key feature and command of the Seder is v'higarata levincha, and you should tell the story to your children. When you share the story of the Exodus with your children, you make them part of the collective consciousness, the memory of the Jewish people. You remind them where we've been and what we've been through, and you share with them our common goal, where we're heading, hopefully. But if your children, who have such incredible radar and who are such sponges, see or hear you barking or growling or even grimacing or sighing or whining about how long the Seder's taking, about how the matzah tastes like cardboard, about how you have to drink another cup of wine, about how we have to eat that maror, or worse, in the diaspora, for those of us who have to have the Seder twice, another Seder, your kids, instead of becoming part of that incredible collective consciousness, see your lack of enthusiasm, see your dismissive attitude, and they're turned off instead of on, and you've blown that opportunity. So instead, keep your mouth shut. No barking, no growling, no sighing, no whimpering, no whining. But don't just stay silent. Do some preparation. Look at the Haggadah beforehand so that you can share with your children the beautiful story, our story, and excite them as we all hopefully become free men and women once again this year. Have a happy and healthy Passover.